Mr. Speaker, how I wish that you would lead by example, by listening to what the people of Kenya are saying at this time. I would have hoped that the president, at the time he was reading the speech, would have listened to the cries of Kenyans about the cost of living in this country. Honorable Speaker, in Article 10, he made reference to the citizens' freedoms and fundamental rights. He did not speak to the whole stretch of it, but we know that the entire of Chapter 4 guarantees certain rights to the citizens of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, among these rights are the basic rights to ensure that people live in dignity. Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation is that many families are not able to make ends meet. The state of the nation is that many families are not able to educate their children anymore because levies have been put on since this government came in place that have made it difficult for many families to afford tertiary education, to afford secondary education, to afford primary education. Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation at the time we spoke is that we have rogue departments that have decided to levy taxes left, right, center that are making the poor poorer and stressing those who are doing business in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, to increase the charges on a birth certificate, on an identity card, on marriage certificate, on death certificate, on acquiring of a passport, on reclaiming citizenship for Kenyans who are born abroad, on Kenyans who are on goods of Kenyans who are coming in, including second-hand goods that people are coming in with from abroad. Mr. Speaker, that is where the state of the nation is. Kenyans are being taxed left, right, center, whether they are dead or alive, whether they are in the womb or in hospital. That is the state of the nation, Mr. Speaker. I would have loved to hear the president pronounce himself on this issue, particularly on why the Department of Immigration has decided to, without following due process, levy charges on fundamental rights. Mr. Speaker, access to the ID is a fundamental right. Paying $2,000 for an ID will make the difference as to whether a child will go to university or not. Our children are finishing Form 4. Many of them will need to acquire IDs. Many of them will require those IDs before they get help. What this government has done is to say that if you come from a poor family, forget about university education. Mr. Speaker, that is the state of this nation. Mr. Speaker, many businesses are closing. Many businesses are crossing over to Tanzania because they cannot afford the taxes in Kenya. That is the state of this nation. And I would hope that those close to the president, the friends, and others will allow him to actually get in touch with the people to understand what is going on.